came to Fairy Creek to be exposed to the actual action that's happening on the ground and realize the impact of what's happening on the land with my own eyes and my own senses. Yeah, and just to develop more interconnectedness with the community here. I've been living in Victoria for the last 4 years and haven't once got a chance to check out any old growth forests. So I'm very overdue for spending time deeper in nature and also just developing relations with both the people on the ground and the land and cultivate this work.
Moi, je viens du Québec et j'ai voyagé tout le pays, le Canada, pour venir jusqu'ici pour voir les arbres. C'est très important pour moi de les protéger parce que c'est notre futur. Donc, c'est pour la future génération, pour nos futurs enfants. Donc, c'est pour ça que je suis ici, parce que la nature, sans nature, il n'y a pas de futur.
Je suis ici parce que les arbres, c'est notre... Oh mon Dieu! Les arbres, c'est notre avenir, notre futur. Puis aussi, c'est comme le centre de la planète. C'est le cœur et tout ce qui enrichit la planète. Et on a besoin de ça pour notre futur et aussi pour nous.
Voilà. Bon, à la base, on est ici pour nos sœurs et nos frères autochtones. On est ici pour leur souveraineté parce qu'on est sur des terres en ce moment qui ne sont pas cédées à ces gens-là et c'est des terres en fait qui leur appartiennent. Mais on est ici aussi pour les arbres, évidemment, les forêts, voilà, qui sont coupées de manière stratégiquement mauvaise pour l'environnement, pour l'écosystème. Donc les clear cuts, c'est vraiment pas une bonne manière de couper des arbres, c'est pas éco-responsable. Donc on se bat contre ça. Voilà.
Forest is a major place for us to reconcile within ourselves and to actually find a way to heal ourselves, but also because there's so many things that are broken with the status quo right now that really need to change, and I think that this movement is a big piece of that change happening that's necessary on all sorts of fronts. So that's why I'm here.
I'm here because in 5, 10, 15 years it'll be too late for anyone to be here, and I want to be able to tell the next kiddos that, you know, at least we tried.
You can feel the old growth here because I came and I talked with Bill Jones last time, and while he was speaking up, I learned so much from him. And I wanted to come back and help him because he'd say we're his guests and he wants us to be around and helping. And yeah, I just like feel like from my heart that if her elder asks for help, we should come and support him. That's why I'm here.
I care about the future of the world, and I imagine like what it might look like in 100 years. And I feel like whatever it will look like is based on how we co-create it together. And that means working to protect the things that you care about and making those examples. I'm very new to all of this, so I'm here mostly to learn and get more about it, but it seems necessary because if we don't stand up for what we believe in and protect the things we care about, they will be taken away from us. So yeah, if you want to share your voice, come out and please support.
Waterfall is a camp that I have a very strong connection to. The people who are there, the community that we have up there is so strong and positive and forward focused and motivated, and I can't stop coming back. Every time I try to stay away, I end up back there again and again and again because we know what's at stake, and we don't want to lose our ancient yellow cedars, and we don't want to have any more problems up there. We just want things to be peaceful and happy and a strong community for as long as possible. So I keep coming back.
Ideal circumstances for a large-scale protest. You can drive right in, great weather, great intro to protesting. So I think that I needed that probably in my life.
I'm here to fight extractive capitalism and support Indigenous sovereignty in any way I can.
I'm a mother with 3 children, and I want my children to have a future, and I want them to be able to enjoy the magic and wonder of these ancient trees, and to know that humanity stands for more than exploiting people and places and life for consumption and money.
here to try and save the old-growth forest in the province that I live in, because it's been heartbreaking over the past few years just to see everything deteriorate over time and have the government wonder why we're having such a big forest fire problem and look around. And then obviously the second reason is just like help protect Indigenous land. Like, it was stolen from them. It wasn't our right to take it at all, and we need to give it back.
The reason why I'm here is because the state of the world, the state of the system, me being an Aboriginal person in Canada has been a very hard experience for me most of my life. And I feel like I've been fighting my whole life anyway for my rights, for my language, my culture. And what better place to do it here and to help support, Mother Earth and the nations that are under the hands of the logging industry, fisheries, mining, oil sands. The fight doesn't stop wherever you are. So I think I've been helping the system a lot, by just playing, being a have-to person. Like, I have to do this to survive. I have to have this job, the 9 to 5, this hamster wheel that I can never get out of. So for me, this is like a stand for change in my own life, but also for Earth, and to work with non-natives, work with anybody who's here that is willing to.
I'm here because I feel strongly about the inconsistencies in the consciousness of humanity. We've been going down a dark path, and my intention here is to support the Indigenous peoples, protect the water, protect the trees.
Protesters who are giving up a lot of their time and effort and money to try to save this old growth forest that we're standing in, and I hope they're successful. And we've brought supplies out today, and just to let them know that we're with them.
I'm here to stand up for the old growth. I know there's very little left. I'd like to leave it for my children and their children, and the climate's changing, and we all need to stand together to stand up for what's right on this earth.
I'm here to support, basically. I'm here to protect the trees and the land. Like, I'm here from my own nation, and I wanted to come and support the other Indigenous people here. I heard a lot of stories of how exhausted everyone was, so I just wanted to come and offer my energy, offer however much hands-on stuff I could help with, or anything that people needed. I think the most important thing is protecting the land and making sure that the animals, everyone has space to live, because the animals need a place to live too, and cutting down all these trees and clear cutting in such a way is really affects those creatures that live here horribly, So where are they supposed to go if they keep cutting? And the old growths are just they have so much knowledge in them. The forest needs them, knowledge in them.
Symbiosis is really present in these forests. The old growth especially, it's ancient symbiotic webs under the ground, above the ground. And it's our greatest treasure on Earth, is symbiosis. And we are emulating that in our presence here. It's a gift-based effort, and it's we're really putting everything to protection and coming together and healing the forest and healing with the forest, and bringing that energy to the forces of destruction that are underpinning our society at this time.
I'm here because I just love this forest so deeply, and the more I spend time here, the more I feel that it's an extension of our body, and so we have to care for it, and if we harm it, that harm will happen to ourselves, and so this is, here we're just learning to live in harmony with the land, and we're just learning what it means to be human on this planet again. And so it's a privilege to be here and to be learning this collective. And yes.
I'm here because these trees took thousands of years to grow, and when we cut them all down, that's it. They're gone, and they're not coming back, and we are fucked if they're gone.
To educate myself. Came out here because I'd heard about the protests, read about them, and wanted to see for myself what was going on out here, and so I could make an informed decision on where I stand on all of this. And I'm with you, I'm with the trees, and seeing grandfather tree up the road there just made me very emotional and close to tears. So that's why I'm here.
I'm here because it's just enough, like what we're doing to the world. We all know it's wrong, and if people aren't like us, the coolest, most good-looking people who are here, aren't putting ourselves, literally our bodies, on the line, it's just gonna keep happening, and we can't wait any longer. So I'm so happy to be here. I feel so grateful. Yeah.
I started following on Facebook about the trees, and I've always loved nature, and I just returned to Canada 4 years ago to be in this beautiful place. And when I saw what was happening here, I went to the reading of the injunction, and it was like my heart just broke. And I came up here and I said, I have to come back. I have to help. And cooking is one of the things that I do. So I've been cooking for 2.5 months, almost 3 months, and I love being here. And I would encourage everybody to just grab their skills and come. You will find a place here. You will find a place, and you'll find a people, a family that will love you and nurture you and challenge you and put your ego in place and encourage you to be who you are. And that's what these trees are. They are what they are, and we need to stand like they are.
I'm 7, and I'm here actually for a lot of things, especially for the trees and the forest that we live in, because it's quite sad. If you go in somewhere and you see like patch of just forest, you just cut everything, and it's just not good for ecosystem and everything. And I'm also here for the native people. There's their land, and they have the right to be here.
See what it's like. I've never been there. We got stopped by the cops, and the whole time I was the youngest person in the car. The 3 other people were, like over 65. And yeah, just the cop, like there must have been at least 10 cops, 15 cops, and everybody had their hands in different places. And there was one cop that the whole time he just had his hand on his gun. Like whenever he'd go around the other officers, he wouldn't have his hand on his gun. And then when he'd come around us, he'd put his hand on his gun. And then when I asked why, he just said, oh, it's like a place to put my hands. But everyone else, like all the other officers that were there, nobody like felt the need to put their hands like that. And I just felt that, I'm a privileged white person, and this cop is putting his hand on his gun and doing that. So, what are they acting like with other people that they racially profile that are a supposed perceived threat? Like, it's like they're marinated in a culture of like illogical and paranoid fear. Like it involves a lot of xenophobia, and like it's dangerous because they have a firearm that they like for some reason, want everyone to be aware that not only do they have physical access to it, that, they're just one like click of a button away from drawing it and pulling it on you. And it felt like I was going to take 10 steps like the other way when they told me to walk on and I wasn't arrested. Like we were in some sort of like draw or something, and it was just absurd.
We have 3 children.
Why are you here?
Simple fact that our earth needs these old growth trees for its health.
I'm here because we need to be here right now. Yeah, because otherwise our planet's not going to be healthy.
I live here on this earth, and I want this earth to be a healthy, vital place, and the humans and animals and plants that live here to be filled with that life and that richness that can only come from all of this which surrounds us.
I'm here because I was lucky enough to go to the Walbrand Valley like 20 years ago and was just blown away with how amazing it was. And then this was after seeing sort of what I thought was already amazing forest, having come out from Ontario to British Columbia, and just seeing the difference between what real, valley bottom old growth looks like compared to second growth. And then over the last 20 years, going there visiting, just watching more and more of the landscape get just liquidated into logs. And, the trees grow back, but it's not going to be the same for a really long time. And so that's why I'm here, because it's time to stop. Like, we need the little bit of old growth that we have left if we, want to survive, really.
I come here because it's hard to tell anymore where it's the right place to be at the right time. It feels like that's one, intersectional. It's just a place to make your voice heard when you don't want to be playing at the system, through the system, for the system. It's just so interesting to see who comes here too.
I think it's more, why wouldn't I? These trees have been here way longer than I have. I feel like we owe it to them, we owe it to the Indigenous. We're not separate from the forest, and anyone that feels like they are, I would suggest taking a walk in the forest and seeing how you feel.
So I'm from Germany, and we already fucked up out there. All the trees are gone. There's nothing like a forest here anymore left, so I'm just asking myself, why would I not do what I can to protect the trees that are still here, and hopefully with them being protected, taking a step to protecting the planet or more.
I'm actually shooting a documentary about the whole situation that's going on, and just here to learn about everything. It's really, really epic and intense and awesome.
I'm here because, I wanted to come here on my own accord, but the Washington Post has asked me to come here and do some reportage.
I'm here to stand up against organized crime and the way that these forests are being decimated for economic purposes. There's no way that we should cut down old growth forest anywhere in the world. And from now on, we should definitely all stand up against that. And also to change the current perspective on how we treat the planet. And this resource-based extraction economy cannot go on the same way. And we need to value intact ecosystems and biodiversity hotspots. And it's super important for climate change going forward to keep these ecosystems intact.
Very simply, I just wanted to do something that was worth the damn.
I'm here to protect an endangered ecosystem.
I'm here because I believe this is the start. We have to change here. We have to create a healing ground for change, for this world, for the land that we live on. And if we're going to actually, on a global scale, heal the world, live live in harmony with the planet. This is square one. This is one of the last bits that we have not touched. We need to start here. We need to save this and then grow from here. If we are to show that we're going to take money over saving the earth right now after a pandemic, we're screwed. So let's start here. Let's save this.
I'm here because I've been calling John Horgan for like a month and a half and not hearing anything. No change has been made. So I've been following it online, seeing, the pleas, how desperate it's getting, violence the RCMP is imposing on peaceful protesters, and I just had to come and join because I'm an individual. I'm stuttering. An individual, and this movement is made up of individuals. I'm just a regular person who wants to make a difference, and anyone can make a difference. And so I'm lucky that I was able to get rid of my shifts this week and come out, and I definitely am coming back.
I am here because we were hoping to get to Eden Grove for the artist residency program, but unfortunately police are blocking us, and it's 11 kilometers to hike in, but unfortunately we can't do that. But I'm new to the island, and we were really hoping to get up to see the old growth forests that are in definite threat of being chopped down. I'm an artist, and I wanted to paint them and capture them and show them to people who don't understand what's going on here, but we can't get there. So it's really amazing to see the people who are standing here actually standing up for these old growth trees. They're not against logging, they're against cutting down the old growth trees, because obviously we all need trees. I mean, I'm an artist, I paint on cotton, and there's a wooden frame, we need the trees, but we don't need to cut down the old growth. There's other ways around this.
I'm here because this is the last stand, and I truly feel like it's my responsibility as a citizen to help protect these ancient forests and stand for Indigenous rights and giving the land back.
I'm here to try and bear witness to what us as society decide is not valuable, to try and see things that may be taking away, just so that I can tell people that these things shouldn't be gone. These trees should stay, and they're important to fight for, to try and keep being what they are.
I figure that we have very little time left to save what remains of our natural systems, our support systems, which we all need. And I am a grandfather, and I feel that it's my responsibility to do what I can to make sure my grandchildren enjoy the same sort of life and nature that I have been so blessed to enjoy.
I'm here to help out with all of the defenders to make sure they get good food. Thanks to everyone for all the donations. You're just amazing. Keep it coming.
Well, I'm here to observe, to understand, and to grow.
I'm here to defend Pacheedaht territory.
We came here to go to Eden Grove, but unfortunately we couldn't get there because the RCMP are blocking the road. So we came down here to see this Red Creek fir, to take some photos so I can make some paintings.
I'm here to help slow the loggers and protect childhood wonder.
I am here just to do whatever needs to be done to add my voice to hopefully create more awareness when I go home and tell the stories of my experience here, and hopefully encourage more people to come out and do their part.
Well, I've always grown up and my parents have been super involved in the rainforest and activist scene, and I just want to see what it's all about, and I'm really excited to be here because it's been awesome so far.
Hey, it's Beavertail here. Loggers didn't like us being here, so they came around on Monday night and smashed my windshield while I was sleeping in my van. Not very nice. So this morning we took a little mission out, and I chained myself to a grader for about 4 hours while they sprayed us with hoses and threatened to hang me from the bicycle lock around my neck that was attaching me to the grader. And eventually the cops came and released us. So I was charged and let go, but Fairy Creek, this is where it's at. We need you here. Come join us.
They cut this down, we can't ever get it back. This is a legacy not only for everybody who lives in BC and on the island, but for the world. Just like the Amazon rainforest belongs to the world, these old trees, they belong to the world, so we got to protect them for the world.
I'm here to show my support, to show my respect, and to possibly set an example for those that are my age and could come here as well. I'm also first aid certified, and I'm coming here to help out in whatever I can and do my job.
I'm here for so many reasons that I couldn't possibly say them all, but the main one is because I care about the future and I care about the trees.
Because I love trees, I love nature, because I care about the environment, because I love what the people bring here, which is their hearts and their care for the trees and the ecosystems and each other. It's a peaceful movement. Super appreciative of that. And there's lateral leadership, so anybody is welcome here with their skills and can step into leadership roles, which is really, really awesome. Absolutely love seeing all the young people step into leadership roles, and so powerful, so much heart, so much acceptance and tolerance. So it's inspiring, it's heartening in these disheartening times to be here. And I want to just say, hey, everybody, come to Fairy Creek.
I am here to support the land and the people who are fighting for the future and for what's left of this beautiful place, and to preserve everything that this is and this means.
I'm here to support Indigenous sovereignty and to protect life. I believe that all things, the trees, everything has a right to exist, a right to thrive, and that we are all connected. And that in order to save the planet, we have to protect Indigenous land rights and, yeah, land back.
So I'm here. My capacity is bus driver, driving the bus out, and now I'm also mechanic, fixing hopefully a few vehicles that are broken down. But I'm here, yes, because it's pathetic to cut 2,000-year-old trees. This has to stop.
Because I care about the future of our planet, and we are doing great destroying it, but we don't do much in terms of preserving it. So I think it's important to try to do your best to keep what is left and not to destroy everything what is left.
I'm here for a multitude of reasons. I'm here because life is sacred, and this is one of the first times in my life that I felt so certain that a community of people is truly putting what is at stake before self-interest. That people here are united, coming from all walks of life, but united by a common thread, which is an understanding of like that which is sacred, and that, and to also return what we continue to be given every day by the planet that sustains us, and our beautiful sacred mother. So that's why I'm here.
When I first came out to BC in 91, went out to the Walburn, and I saw giant trees about to get cut down, and then we were talking about the last 10% of the old growth. Well, now we're talking about the last 3% of the old growth, and I've seen it out there. I've been out. I spend time out on the island all the time, and I'm watching them taking the last tops off mountains and the last bits out of valleys, and it's time to stop.
I'm here because there's nowhere else in the world to be. This is called the last stand because this is the last stand. If we lose the forest, we can't breathe. So I hope a lot of people will start understanding that we're not just, hippies out here. We are people who care about each other, who care about the forest, and who care about making it very widely known that this is a life or death matter. We have got to wake up, and hopefully there's enough people here that are willing to stand up and speak out, that many more people will be influenced into stopping this insanity called clear cutting.
Big reasons are, the first one is this doesn't come back once it's gone, and I love it. Come out here. Anyone who comes out here and spends any time, any significant amount of time in this ecosystem will just fall in love with it.
Help support the way that everyone else has just been doing such a beautiful job of supporting in my absence so far.
I wanted to come out here and just get in touch with nature and other people and learn about.
I'm here because of pain. The pain that the systems that are in place inflict on people. And you might not think that you are experiencing pain because of the system, but you don't know what you're missing out on. And I feel like all of these trees are a visual representation of that system. And when you walk through, a lawn or a park that's all completely flat and green, you think, oh, this is nice, you sit in the sun.
but you don't remember, you don't know that this is what was in place before then. You don't realize what you're missing out on. And that's the space we're in with the systems. The systems are in place so we don't know how we actually live when we're truly in community and truly taking care of each other. All people, Indigenous people, BIPOC, everyone, all of us together, hand in hand, taking care of each other's needs. We don't see that because the system separates us. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to fight for the trees and for the greater message that entails of humanity and what humanity is actually worth, because or what humanity actually is, because cutting all those trees down, that's not human.
There's so many reasons why I feel called to be here. We are like in the midst of a climate catastrophe and our ecosystems are collapsing, and logging old growth trees is just totally unacceptable. It's ecocide for our future. Yeah, so I guess I just can't stand to see that this is happening on our planet, and I hope to come together with people in community and that we might actually dream up a better world and a different way of doing things.
I think I'm here for a lot of different reasons. One I'd like to point to is we're standing pretty close to a watershed here on River Camp, and further down, not here, it's flows into the Fairy Creek watershed, which is a salmon-bearing habitat for all kinds of salmon, from chum to pink to coho and chinook. And I work on the west coast of Vancouver Island, where I've seen the aftermath of logging, and it's full fold. So there, pretty much the brunt of all salmon, or all the effects on salmon, is from logging. Like some of the worst that you can point to. There's a multitude of impacts, but one of the most notable and one of the most immediate that you can see is from old growth logging. And this is, like, as cliche as it sounds, the last stand, the last place.
I'm here because the trees are all of our ancestors, and they have so much to, and have taught us so much, and it's all of our responsibility to protect them and to recognize that the impact that logging has isn't just you know, that tree. It's on, you know, what that kind of creates, like logging camps and like pipeline camps leading to missing and murdered Indigenous women. And me, and I think a lot of people, a deep sadness that we don't always get a chance to acknowledge as a collective and fight for. So I'm very grateful that I got a chance to come, and I know that it's hard for a lot of people because we live in a world where we need to work to provide ourselves and our loved ones, you know, food and shelter. So I don't think that, you know, it's okay if you can't come, but to think of ways that you could maybe help from afar, or, you know, talk to your friends and family about the importance, and because, you know, it's maybe a few people that are here and maybe doing the front line. I'm here to be a land defender for the Pachidaw and Digida First Nation.
I'm here because I used to work in the carpentry industry, like new developments. And for me, I left that industry after a few years in it just because of the amount of waste I saw. And I think in Western society, we're just like so engrossed in materialistic, of such a materialistic mindset. And I think this is just a symptom of that, you know. People don't have forward thinking, and they think they can just continue taking and taking and taking and building and building and building when it's not really necessary. And I think there's far more things valuable than new developments, and this is just a symptom of that.
Here at Fairy Creek, I love the intentional community here and the ancestral spirits of this land that are supporting us, and the whole Indigenous struggle for land back, sovereignty. That's part of why I'm here. We are the dance of the forest and sun. We are the power in everyone. We are the hope that will never die. We are the turning of the tide.
So I'm here because I think it's so important to protect our planet and Mother Earth from corporate greed. And I especially think that this ecosystem, the old-growth forest ecosystem, is one of a kind, and we've done so much damage to it already. It's time that we just say no more and stand up and protect this rich ecosystem. And these beautiful trees that aren't just trees, they're like living beings that have so much to offer us. And I'm here at camp because I think it's so important to support the people who've been here for so long on the front lines, given their all. I'm so grateful to them, and I want to show my gratitude. So that's why I'm here.
I'm here to be of service and to utilize my implicit privilege to do what I can.
I think I'm here just to answer some questions and participate. Because when I'm at home thinking about these kinds of things, it's easy to feel really confused and to be weighing pragmatism and idealism. And when I come out here, I don't feel very confused. And so that's why I'm here.
I'm here because I've talked about and thought about putting my own body forward and my person forward into the defense of rare, endangered ecosystems, nature. I've never come before, so this is definitely finally an opportunity to have that experience. So for personal reasons, my own life experience, but also because of the realization that we really aren't going to stop until we've cut the last tree and fished the last fish and just taken everything that's left and then have nothing but scraps.
Travel the world, seen so many beautiful places, and something in our own country is worth protecting. And yeah, I think it's well worth it. And there's so many other sustainable, practical ways to do this.
I'm just here to help out wherever I can, and it's just a shame to see beautiful places like this being treated this way when they're such a rare gem. So I just want to help try and protect it.
I've been pretty fuck John Horgan since the Wet'suwet'en invasion, and I grew up here on Vancouver Island, Blockade territories, and I feel a responsibility to the land that raised me, and we have to stop treating finite resources as infinite, and we have to protect all of this, all of what's left of it.
I'm answering a call. I'm answering the call of the land here to protect, to use my skills to help this movement.
Because my nieces deserve to live in a world where giants still exist.
Because it's the last thing that makes sense. I'm here because these forests are our future, and protecting them and these spaces is what we should be living for. This magic and this beauty, this is what makes life worth living.
I'm here because I really like the old growth trees, and the trees give me oxygen to breathe in every one of us. And if they cut us down, I just don't want that to happen because it might not be as beautiful green. Like you might not wake up and hear the beautiful birds chirping. Yeah.
Well, as a miner, I know that I have the privilege of not getting as badly treated as other people, like my friends out here.
So being out there on the front lines really does help, and I want to be outlived by this old growth. I want my children to be outlived by this old growth and just many generations to come, because it's just so sacred and it's been here for years. So why should it leave now? We're not ready to say goodbye yet, you know?
For the forest, clear-cut logging sucks. It destroys everything, but more than anything for Indigenous sovereignty, Indigenous rights. They should be treated like human beings. It's crazy, man. That's why
I'm here to obviously help the Aboriginal people of the land, help protect their land, but also what keeps bringing me back is the amazing community here of like-minded people.
I'm here because I felt like I needed to teach my kids how important everything was, and I don't know, once it's gone, and I like that quote, can we tell the kids we tried?
I'm here because I don't want to support a government that does stuff like this and hurts people who are here. Yes, we're blocking the roads, but we're doing everything peacefully, right? I don't want people who come in the middle of the night and assault people and hurt us. And like, I was up at Eden last week and they threw food away just because.
I'm here to just to make sure that I understand the word sanity, because you know we do live in a very difficult and sometimes totally insane world, and this is what's happening here. This logging is absolutely it's nonsense. It's just not sustainable, and I'm doing it also for my grandkids. I've got 7 boys.
Because I don't want the trees getting cut down.
I've been involved with some environmental issues for about 7 years, and as you start learning about some of the crazy things that are going on in Canada and how we're told one thing, which I know because I've been investigating in depth some issues around pesticides in particular in Canada, and it's shocking when you find out how things are and what we're led to believe, and how that's harming all Canadians and outside of Canada as well, because in Canada, when we talk about climate change, oil and gas is certainly an issue, but if we do not have forests, we have no way of keeping this planet cool. No way of keeping it cool. And I research everything. So one of the things is that all the fires that we're seeing that are burning the hottest and the longest, a lot of them are coming from clear cuts.
Why am I here? The short answer is I'm really inspired by, especially after having come here by the people.
I can't stand by and watch these trees get cut down and watch corporate greed, do what they do to these First Nations people's lands without their consent. And I just couldn't stand by anymore and wanted to, get involved and act upon what my feelings in my heart were.
I'm here to stand up and do what I can to protect the last remaining old growth in this province and stand with First Nations people.
Here we have an opportunity to be part of an instant community of like-minded people with similar goals, where whatever differences we had elsewhere don't matter a bit. It's common purpose, and it's like coming home to a reunion of old friends you've never met before.
To do my part in defending the forest.
Because what we're doing up here matters, and I thought that I didn't have a lot to contribute, and I came and found out that my skills are needed, so I'm here until I'm not.
I'm here because regaining this land is regaining Indigenous sovereignty, and that is why we are here.
I am here for my children and the children of the future of all our families, which are all together. We have the choice to either let this forest be cut once for $200 million concentrated into the hands mostly of a few executives and a handful of logging workers, with a large amount of the material and the profits exported out of the country, or we can save this forever for thousands of years of children and all people and all the plants and animals to have for eternity in a healthy. It's the last opportunity for anyone to understand what original nature is. human-made ecosystems are not the same.
I'm here because I feel like when your neighbors ask for help, you show up. And these trees are our neighbors, and they're so strong. They've been here for so long, and we just have to respect that. We have to show up and show solidarity for all life.
I feel like the way that we are taught to think about the future is that it's just empty and there's no one there, and I just think there needs to be something left for everyone else that's to come.
I'm here by fate and divine timing, but the reason I remain here is to uplift Indigenous voice and to help protect this land that I hold so dear and so many hold so dear and that is so sacred.
Because BC and the old growth forest is the epicenter of Canadian nature, and right here is the epicenter of Canadian culture. This is the highest form of Canadian culture I've seen protecting in the presence of Canadian nature I've ever experienced, and that's why this is important, because this is what it means to be Canadian, what it means to be.
I'm here to stand up for some forests that are incredibly ancient and beautiful.
To defend the sacred and represent, I guess, all that we can to, protect these forests a bit.
A fellow person here, and she said this wonderful phrase, a lumen vox, or it means I'm drawn to the light, and I find that I am deeply inspired by the movement here to be philosophical but in action. The people I meet here are living examples of thoughtful, loving, philosophically inclined people. So it's a real pleasure.
I'm here to answer the call from the old growth trees that called us here to protect them, but also to remember who we are as humanity connected to nature.
I'm here for the trees, and I'm here for the fairies. The trees that are here, the old growth, they're irreplaceable. Once they're gone, they're gone. And when you have endangered animals, you don't kill them, everybody stops. To be the same for trees. So stand up for the trees, and stand up for the fairies.
I'm here because I care about the environment. I feel like a number of reasons our government, I feel, lied to, because Horgan promised that he'd put an end to some of this old growth logging, and here we are just trying to clear cut it. It's more than just the trees, it's a whole habitat. We're terraforming this whole landscape and ecosystem. You can't just regrow an ancient growth forest with monoculture. Poland has a better forest managed strategy than Canada. There's ways. I agree with industry. There's money in these trees. We need to get them out, sure. But there's ways of doing it more selectively that doesn't involve destroying a whole ecosystem. You can't take everything and expect life to just come back. It doesn't just come back. We replant this monoculture crop that... And I just wanted to say that we need more people out here, of course. Rallies are great at home, but the thing we need is people to just show up. You don't have to be arrestable. I was arrested today or yesterday. And it's just a ticket, you just get a ticket and then go home. It's okay. You're not a criminal. You can help.
I'm here for many reasons, but right now I'm here because I found a rare endangered lichen called Pseudocyphalaria rainirensis, and the only reason why I found it is there was a tree that fell down on the edge of a cut block, an old growth tree, and I saw it on the branch near the canopy. So I'm here to reattach it to one of the old growth trees that is still standing and see if it will survive.
I'm here because we have to stop the old growth forest. We're here by invitation of the Pachidat and the Dididat, and I want my granddaughter to know what big trees are like.
I'm here to fight for the Indigenous rights and for the last of our old growth rainforests.
I'm here to protect Indigenous sovereignty and to keep the last 2.7% of the old growth for all of our children.
I'm here as media to document and tell the truth to the world.
I'm here because I believe that these forests need to stay standing for the next several generations, for many generations, so that future descendants of ours can appreciate them, and also that the habitat that they provide for the animals remains the critical habitat.
Just here to support, really.
I am here because we brought a crew together. We came up here a few days ago, and the main mission was to really capture the beauty of the place, the beauty of Fairy Creek drainage itself, but also the area, and to bring back some beautiful images to the rest of the world so that they can see what's really at stake.
I'm here because my mom was here. My mom was here when I was a child, and I want to be here for my...
I was coming up in November to go into the old growth and to imagine that this was all going to be cut down for no good reason was very shocking. It was like the thought of, taking the pyramids down piece by piece to build, shacks or outhouses. It made no sense. Like, why would you destroy a most important Canadian heritage that we have, some of the oldest, most beautiful 2,000-year-old trees? So I was very shocked, and then I got to know the people, and really it was very life transforming. Like the ideas, the ingenuity, the kindness, the empathy up here is something that you don't just experience in regular life all the time the way you do up here. So yeah, it's a beautiful moment, beautiful movement, and it's an important historical time in Canadian history, and everyone needs to see it to believe it.
Check out our mushroom spots. We come up Port Renfrew area into the old growth and mature second growth forests every fall, and we arrive early to make sure we don't miss.
And we look for either very old second growth or old growth, where we can easily find some good mushrooms. I won't say what kind because I'll be revealing my secret.
Why I'm here? Because we need to protect the forest and the native land.
This is something that cannot be replaced. It is extremely important, not only for the community and the people here, but also for our environment and the land that we are so fortunate to live on.
The simple answer is I want this for my children and my grandchildren, so they can come and see an old growth forest. And I've grown up on the island, and I've seen so much of it, the old growth disappearing. I've seen the rivers drying up. I've seen the climate change. But the simple answer is for my children and my grandchildren.
I am here because my husband and I are part of the Church of Bubbles, and we are part of the freedom movement that's going on in the world right now. Our freedoms are being taken away from us. We came here not by accident, and this is the ultimate fight for freedom. It is totally wrong what they're doing, and we need to stand with them to save the old growth trees.
Well, we came initially because we were up in the area and we'd heard that there was a bit of a kerfuffle going on out here. We didn't really know much about it. We came out, we learned more. We were intending on staying a day, and now it looks like we're going to stay at least a week. And why? Because we, as humans, have to start caring about more than just ourselves. And we have to start caring more than just for our own interests, and and those around us. We have to worry about the planet that we live on, and the fact that there are an abundance of trees and wood and everything all over the place makes it absolutely inexcusable that they should choose specific trees which have been here forever, that are the central pillars of the ecosystem, to take down to turn into some kind of fucking furniture. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's tons of fucking trees. Take the ones that are 20 foot smaller. And the kind of abuse that I've heard going on up here, man, I'm going away, and I don't know, maybe a week, maybe a month, who knows, but whatever. I mean, as humans, we have to stand up and do the thing that's right. So that's why we're here, and I hope that's good. My name's Papa Bubble with the Church of Bubbles, and we believe that everybody lives in their own beautiful bubble. We don't have to be pricks and go popping other bubbles. Co-join with the bubbles that lift us up higher, make us feel more beautiful about ourselves, because life is precious and fragile.
A lot of people here who've been here for a long time, dealing with highly emotional and stressful situations here, and I feel like, some people need a little bit of joy, a jester, per se, come in to just bring a smile, lighten the mood a little bit, and kind of allow you to temporarily escape from the emotional hardship that this kind of atmosphere can create.
I guess I just want to see these ancient ecosystems survive and still be here forever, really. And if this is the last of them, then this is the turning point, and this is the time to demand that they're protected and valued in our society, and not just seen as another thing to extract, thing to sell.
I'm here because I want to join the cause of fighting with the warriors, and how I ended up here was actually a magical experience. I didn't know this was happening until about a week ago, and the universe aligned in such a way that my friends and I ended up here, and it's been so magical and powerful, and we want to get involved in all the things, and we're very excited to be contributing in any way we can, and this is such an amazing cause, and the people are so amazing. It's just connecting with the land, connecting with the people. This is where the real fight is. This is where the real power is, with the people, and I'm here because I was meant to be here.
Well, my parents met back at Clayoquot Sound in the 90s, and I am now 5 months pregnant. And for me, I just realized when I found out I was pregnant and I found out about this movement, I realized that I had to fight for the next generation, because it's not just about me anymore. And I want my children and my grandchildren and their grandchildren to know what an old growth tree looks like, and to be able to be in nature the way that we are. We can't continue the way that we have been. It's completely unsustainable, and it's selfish and destructive, and we have to come together for the next generation.
I'm here for the trees, for our future ancestors, or for our future, and for our past ancestors, to honor them and to honor this land.
I'm here because my heart brought me here, and I truly just love Mother Earth, and I just had to follow my heart and my journey, and my family and I, we left Alberta. We left everything to come here to connect with old growth trees and to do everything that we can to protect and save them.
Why are you here?
I cook food!
I think it's very important. My kids are Indigenous, my wife is Indigenous. We have no old growth forest left in Saskatchewan or in the prairies. So the largest tree you'll find there is about this big. I grew up in BC. Where I grew up, we used to be trees, now it's not. We have to, not as a people, not as a country, not as, as a whole earth, have to come together and say, no, we need to stop this, because it's all we have left. Very important. I'm an animal rights activist as well, so we fight for animal rights. I'm a social justice advocate, so we fight for, I'm a social worker by trade, so I fight for people's rights every day, for the underprivileged. And the trees have nobody, they have a lot of people here speaking for them, but I got to add to the voice, because the voice has to be very loud to be very impactful. And that's why I'm here. And we brought our kids here so that they could, be on the front lines. My one daughter's suing the Canadian government for the environment.
I think it's important to be here for the trees, and every voice matters. Yeah.
Well, it was really like a group effort. We're coming from Toronto. We were driving across the country to Nanaimo for a freedom rally, and when that was over with, we were hanging around. We did the vacay, all that, went to Salt Spring, and then we caught wind of what you guys are doing over here. And as soon as we heard, we were just like, yeah, this is something that we need to at least like help out in and be a part of and stuff. And we got the deets, we drove up, we read all the rules and fun stuff, and then yeah, it's been an amazing few days so far. I'm super proud of everybody that's like here, that's over at River, at Waterfall, at all the other camps, and even at home. I know there's a lot of things at home that people can do online and stuff, and yeah.
I'm here because I feel a Fairy Creek protest is one of the last edges of saving the untouched nature before humanity came around and messed things up. So we're here kind of at the front lines of some of the last old growth on the planet and in Canada, and protecting what was here before us. So I feel like it's not just Fairy Creek, but just the whole movement in general that, you know, old growth and ancient trees need to be saved. And I think 50 to 100 years from now, we're going to look back, and if we can do what we need to do here, we're going to be thankful that we saved these trees, and we're also going to look back and be appalled that we were cutting them down at this point when there's so few left. So my daughter and I are here to put energy and intention into that.
I'm here to support our old growths, our ecosystems here in BC that we need so deeply to continue this beautiful sacred life here. I'm here to support all the people in the front lines and all the people doing the most work here to protect these beautiful forests. I'm here to represent the youth and to bring youth in and the younger generations, to call in our younger generations to be here, and to also give support and love and help to all the people here and the communities here doing their best to work and fight for our old growths and our forests, and yeah, to just support everyone here doing the work, making food. It's a beautiful place to be. Everyone's living in such a great flow and doing so much here. So I'm here to call in and honor all these people and call in more people to come up here and support and help and save our old growths and our ecosystems.
I'm here at Fairy Creek because everyone here is my type of person. I fit right in, and everyone is so kind here, and it's exactly how I want to be treated here and how I want to treat people. And it's for a cause. It's just fucking amazing, and it's great to be like this time in my life is just in history is just so important, and it's a very powerful time, and I'm glad to be in it.
I'm here for the community, for the trees, for the children, and I'm here to learn how to mobilize.
Hey, my name is JC, and I actually came here by accident. Some guy in Nanaimo told me to check out a protest, and I was all about it. And then I got here and I realized, whoa, wait a second, there's something here. I've been all over the world, and now I get to feel what community is. I get to feel what acceptance from all people is, and what that means to me as an individual, to be able to grow and flourish from all the stuff that's happened to me and become the entire person that I feel I can be. And having that opportunity is literally, it's never happened to me before. So every day I realize how much more
I understand the saying, home is where the heart is.
To answer a call that I kept receiving and said, finally, I need to go. So I came here to answer that call and be here with the earth and speak for the earth and just be a part of this community that's creating such change.
I'm one of them guys that believes now in our industry that old growth should be untouched, completely untouched, left alone.
I think what's left.
Don't you agree?
I think that there's so little of
So
it
little
left
of it,
now.
yeah.
And it's not just the trees, it's the whole ecosystem.
Yes, it is.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Like, we've had our fill, but now it's time to rethink.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a mother of 3 kids who are 18, 20, 22. I'm a high school teacher, and my students and my children are suffering great anxiety and grief over the future of this beautiful planet. And if I don't come here and stand up for these trees and stand up for the indigenous people of this territory so that we can figure out a better way forward, I am not doing my job as a mother or teacher.
Because ancient old growth forest is irreplaceable.